Hello everybody, this is Kilghard and today I'll be talking about Elixir, a fight for humans in Elixir provinces and Elixir Tournament. What we see in those provinces are light range units, light melee units, and EV melee units. In most fights, you will have only one AV melee units, and that's what you want to have. More than that, it's a bit more complex. Those provinces are quite challenging for human fighters because, to tell it frankly, human fighters sucks against light melee units. That's because the paladin is not that strong against them, just a small attack bonus and no defense bonus, and the mortal just sucks so much. Not enough damage, so don't pack the punch needed to be effective as a unit. In the provinces with only light melee units and AV melee units, if you have them, I strongly recommend using Orc Warriors. They have less stars than the Paladin, 3 against, as you see, is 4, but they are stronger. Paladins has only, as I said, 30% damage bonus against light melee and no defensive bonus. As you see the damage of a squad here and the hit points. You compare that to the Orc Warriors who have three swords but 70% damage increase and 30% damage reduction with pretty much the same damage and a bit more hit points. So you suffer much less losses with the Orc Warriors than with the Paladin. So against that kind of fight, 5 Orc Warriors will do the tricks. In those cases where you have light range units, I'd say to add 1 mortar for every light range units, and if you have 2 or more range units, do the first round normal fight and then you can use auto fight. That's because the computer on auto fight tends to concentrate on one unit, killing it, and then goes to the next. What you want to do is have one hit on each light range unit to reduce them as much as you can, and then killing them as it happens doesn't have that much effect. Stronger points is when you have 2 or 3 AV melee units. In that case, you are pretty much forced to have some units who are strong against AV melee, and that means light range or mages. Problem is, orcs are a killer against light range units, as you see 5-star. So you much better use for mages, but your mages get killed quite easily with light range. So on those kind of fights, the harder fights, the best thing is, as usual, to scout the terrain. Okay, clear path for the EV melee. That's not much of a problem. The range got 1, 2, 3, 4. Cannot hit anything on the first round, and you have to deal with 3 light melee units. So the best thing to do in that case is to have 1 mortar to deal with the range units, 2 Orc Warrior to deal with the light melee, and 2 mages to deal firstly with those 4 and last with those 3. So let's start. as I see, enemy units will go orcs first, thief then, and later on orc generals. So I can advance, knowing that this way is close to the orc, I can advance as much as I need, soften the mage. Again, moving here, I'll be able to hit the orc without risk of counterattack. So let's take it. Mortar, try to kill the archer. Done. And advance my troop so I can try to deal with what's coming up. Go back the mage a little so he won't be hit by the heavy melee. Soften him. Soften here. Mage get hit. That's normal. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of her. And make a trap for the orc here. Meanwhile, let's start to deal with the orcs a little. As the mages have an opponent attack reduction and an enemy defense reduction also, it's interesting to concentrate fire as much as you can on one unit so you have good use of your buff on the enemy. Here I have first strike, why not take it? Good damage. Good counterattack also. Here I could finish this guy, but I won't put debuff as much as I can on the big guy. So their damage is reduced. Kill this one, and with this one I can have big damage on this one. So as you see, this fight is pretty much over, and my mage will finish it off quite easily. So little damage to my orcs, a small damage to the mage, and nothing reached the mortar. You may be tempted to use the Valerian Guard if you have it. Simply don't. You're better off with your Paladin instead of the Valerian Guard. And as for the Orc Strategist, is quite strong against light melee units, but not so much against the light melee. So because of that, I strongly recommend using the mortar to deal with the light range, as they have still some interesting damage for the light melee unit. But in those cases where the enemy can get quite fast to your troops, the Orc Strategist would be a better use than the mortar because of the higher hit points, higher damage, and overall a little bit more protection that the mortar can get. So that's pretty much it. That's it, folks. Goodbye.